Welcome to the inaugural episode of City and Snow. This is a modified Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Lizzie, and I'm the DM. I'm going to play the world and its inhabitants. We're going to work together to build a story with 4 players as 4 characters who explore the city of Elthonis Stand. Will they solve a mystery? Will they meet new friends? Will they fall in love? The answer is D, all of the above. This episode includes a short meet and greet with the players, an introduction to their characters, a brief primer about the world of Lanimora, and the situation these characters find themselves in at the beginning of the story.
So, who wants to start with your name and your character's name?
My name is Miranda, and my pronouns are they, them, and my character's name is Six. He is a he, him. He's a good boy. He's a cat boy. He's tabaxi.
Hi, I'm Izzy. They, them also, please. I'm playing Yor, who is a tiefling paladin, Oath of Ancients, and they also use they, them, or she, her is fine.
My name is Anna, she, her. I will be playing Ilivara, Blood Hunter, also she, her. Still looking for love in all the wrong places.
Aww.
Hi, I'm Lane. I go by she, her, and I will be playing Hannah Mothwatcher, a half-elf fighter, a champion fighter, who is kind of a fresh-faced military recruit with less brain cells than fingers. She's kind of very optimistic and wants to help people a lot, but doesn't really have the brain power to do so very much. She also goes by she, her, and she's looking for excitement and whatever she can do.
We have a party of such good people. Q&A order is going to be Miranda, and then it's Lane, and then we have Anna, and then we have Izzy. So you ready? Question 1, very important. What's your history with RPGs and role-playing? They do get funner, I promise. They get fun.
So I guess I picked up 4th edition basic kit when I was like 12 or something. I had heard stories from my mom because she had played D&D a bit when she was younger, and it just sounded really cool. I saw the Dungeons & Dragons episode of the show Freaks and Geeks, and I was like, I need to do this. And I didn't have anyone to play with me for like 5 years while I had all the rules and everything sitting around.
Oh.
Then I got some friends together, I learned 4th edition, and later I ended up playtesting D&D Next with more of my friends, and now I play 5th edition, and sometimes Pathfinder, and sometimes Call of Cthulhu and other stuff.
Ooh.
So, my history of RPGs is fairly recent, to be honest. I only started about a year and a half ago. I played on initially, I found one game, and I was like, this is amazing, I'm going to keep doing this. And I then very quickly became a forever DM, because, that's how that happens. I played in a Vampire the Masquerade live play for a little bit, and absolutely loved it. But I also run, I think it's now 6 5th edition games in my own time. So this is the first time I'm getting to play for a little while, which is really nice.
I'm really glad about that.
Aside from that, my favorite RPG is Monster of the Week, very closely followed by Call of Cthulhu.
Nice.
Okay, next up, Anna.
In the beginning, I was a very nerdy kid in high school, and I had a friend whose boyfriend was going to be running a D&D game. I had played games like Baldur's Gate, Diablo, Neverwinter Nights, things like that, and so the D&D thing just was like, that makes sense, I need to play. So I started playing in high school, ended up that DM was really cute, so I kept him for myself and married him. And I have been playing for probably over 17 years now. Started in 3.5, moved into Pathfinder. I've played several other types of editions, 13th Age, Fate systems. Recently playing Shadow of the Demon Lord, which is very interesting. Pathfinder 2nd edition, 4th edition D&D, 5th edition D&D. And I play every week very reliably. I still have a portion of my group from that original group 17 years ago, and we play every Saturday. Yeah, so I really like D&D. I play a lot of it. All kinds of tabletop role-playing games.
I was gonna say, I got to know my boyfriend like 6 years ago because I was his DM.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
It's like the reverse because I was the DM, but yeah.
Lastly is Izzy.
So this is my first campaign of a tabletop role-playing game, but it's been a long time coming. Quite the slow burn of just like a lot of nerd stuff, and then doing a lot of RP just in writing without the game generally. I mod to RP groups. I'm really into that, and just like a love of games, and I watch a lot of D&D campaigns, but now I finally get to play, and it's really cool. So
I'm excited for you. You all have so much experience, and that's okay. So quickly, I'll answer this
I also
question.
have 9,000 hours on Roll20.
You have to mention it, because I won't get there unless I just cheat. But I can try.
I want to mention that I was like, when I was 10 years old, I somehow became an administrator on like a Pro Boards forum for Warrior Cats.
Oh my god. Nice.
Oh, gee.
I don't know if I was just really well spoken or something.
I mean, hey.
Someone mildly responsible becomes an admin. That's just what happens.
Yeah. But now it's coming full circle because I'm role-playing a cat again.
Noun names, yes.
Yeah.
10 years. I don't know. Time.
I started playing in 3.5. I took a long hiatus where I didn't have any frequent games throughout late high school and college, and then after that I've had some good luck with campaigns where I've had I went through a full 3.5 campaign. I DM'd a campaign and a half, and I have been in a full 5th edition campaign and a half. And then I started branching out into other RPGs, and I'm currently in a game of Shadowrun. Yeah. Next question, we're back at the top with Miranda.
Oh, yeah.
This is also extremely important. What's the best snack for RPGs?
Best snack?
Mm-hmm.
I guess cookies.
Okay, we've got one for cookies.
Anything that you really... with any kind of gaming, you just need something that's not too, like, greasy or Cheeto dusty, because that just gets gross. You end up with character sheets that are orange.
My Cheeto character sheet.
Your Chester Cheetah Tabaxi.
Oh gosh. We did consider making this whole podcast out of different snack and cereal mascots, but we ended up saying no, but I ended up maybe saying that I might end up putting an NPC in that is Tony the Tiger. Cannot confirm or deny.
So that sounds like a confirm to me.
Go on to Keebler elves.
Oh no. See, those are the gnomes though. Those are definitely gnomes.
I guess.
Keebler elves are like gnomes that think they're elves, but we know.
They're actually too tiny. They're very tiny.
They're so tiny.
So
They're the same size as garden gnomes, right? So, like, maybe there's some other kind of okay, we're off topic. Lane, what's your favorite? What is, not your favorite, but the best snack for RPGs?
So this is going to sound really, like, fucking pretentious, and I'm sorry, but one of the snacks I made when I went to this first game and took a lot was I just, like, baked tofu in curry.
Ooh.
And just, like, took that as finger food to eat, because it's quiet, it tastes amazing, and it doesn't bother anyone else with, like, crunching, so...
That works.
Can I taste mine?
No.
Cubes.
Oh my god.
So I changed mine to gelatinous cubes.
I've got one down for cookies/cubes, and one down for tofu/cubes. Anna, what's your favorite? What is not your favorite? What is the best? The best. The definition of best snack for RPGs. If you could get this to be cube shaped, I will be very impressed.
Oh god. I mean, Jello's good, but I've never once had it at D&D.
Jello?
Jello. You cut it into cubes. There you go.
Too fussy.
I know.
Too fussy.
It's too fussy.
Yeah.
God. I don't know. I really like I guess pretzels. Especially like the stick pretzels. Those are good.
Those are good.
Get some.
Do you like the
dip.
big stick ones or like the little stick ones?
Stick ones.
The little stick ones, okay.
Those are almost cubes.
They're almost cubes. If you cut them up, they could be cubes. Otherwise, like sour gummy worms.
Oh, you're talking about the skinny sticks. I thought you were talking about the
little
nuggets.
No, the little
I do like
sticks.
those little nuggets, though. I just can't have the peanut butter filled ones.
Okay, Izzy, up to you. Tell me the best snack for RPGs.
I don't think I've ever snacked for one of these, but I have a bin of chocolate-covered raisins, and that would be my choice right now.
Fuck yeah.
Good stuff.
Okay. We're at cookies/cubes, tofu/cubes, pretzels that like those little stick pretzels, and choco raisins. I'm at, I like to get those fruit packs, the little gummy fruit packs, put them in the freezer, and then have those.
What? How long in the freezer until they're frozen?
They don't quite freeze all the way because they're kind of, jelly-like, I guess.
What? I have to try that.
It's really good. I highly suggest it. Okay, we're back at top of Miranda. Hardest part, first in line. What's your favorite dinosaur and or prehistoric animal?
Ooh, I don't know if the CH is pronounced or not. If it is, it's Chalicothere. If it's not, it's Calicothere. They're like these weird, I think they're related to giraffes, but they're like knuckle walkers, like gorillas, and they have no living, like, descendants. They're just, like, completely extinct. I just love entire genuses that are just gone, because they're like aliens, basically.
I am finding a pronunciation guide. Calicotherium. Therium?
Calicothere.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got one for Knuckle Walker. Extinct genus completely gone. Next up is Lane.
Oh my
Everyone
God.
else, get your Google on. Go for it.
So I was looking up what the like really really tiny ones were, like the tiny little raptor ones, and I found out there's like 80 or so species of them. So,
sounds about right.
So after quickly looking at the pictures of what I think like most of them would look like, I'm going with the oh my god, the Nukuwebasaurus. It's about the size of like a big house cat, and it's a little raptor.
Oh, cute.
That sounds extremely adorable.
if it's not, like, destroying your shins.
I dare it to.
Just punt the little thing.
Oh my gosh. That sounds like an actual pet.
I was wrong. They're not related to giraffes. They're related to rhinoceros. Rhinoceros.
Sorry, it's rhinoceros now.
Big rhinoceroses.
Okay, Anna, what kind of prehistoric animal and or dinosaur is your fave?
Do saber-toothed tigers count?
Yes, but I believe they are saber-toothed cats.
They're smilodons.
Yes,
Yes,
Smilodon.
thank you. Correct.
I do have something to admit, and I might get banned from this group, but I don't really like dinosaurs.
Excuse me?
You've got to find a new player now.
Excuse me?
Like
Nervously.
fossils?
I do like fossils, but
I will accept favorite fossil type.
I don't know. The swirly-majig one.
The swirl?
Yeah.
I have 2 ammonites.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Okay. And we're skipping that treasonous statement and going to Izzy.
My favorite dinosaur is the Stegosaurus, but I wonder if there's probably some kind of extinct mammal that I would pick if I knew more, which is a crime, I feel.
It is. Thank you for admitting your faults. This is a safe space to talk about your hatred.
Apparently not.
History.
I have a bachelor's in ecology. I feel like I've let myself down.
Oh no. At least you could tell us, like, you know, more of the function of... That's fine. One time I was DMing a game and there were some skeletons and one of the players got really excited and they got really excited because they study skeletons. I'm sitting there like, oh, okay, I hope I did everything right. And they're like, oh, it's so cool. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, sure. I hope I represented this correctly. I really like Dimetrodons, which are like precursor. I believe they are Permian era, not dinos.
They're the rhapsids, right?
It's hard to tell.
They got that big back fan.
Yeah, they got the back fan. That's a pre-mammalian way of regulating your blood temperature. Isn't that neat?
It's a tiny boy that a lot of people mistake for a dinosaur.
Yes. I think those are really cool.
He's just himself.
I also work with some fossils at work, but at least with some of the cheaper ones. So I have been looking up a lot about mosasaurs lately, and I think those are also really cool. They are underwater predators, and we have a lot of samples of their teeth, and mosasaur in general is just a term for a bunch of subspecies and species within that genus, I believe. So that's cool. You can buy fossil teeth, by the pound.
I think I have mosasaur tooth. Either that or megalodon. I don't know if those are related.
They're megalodon, I think, is the really big shark. Yeah, mosasaur is a bit older.
Forget which one.
The megalodon teeth would be about 4 to 6 inches, depending.
Okay, so it's a mosasaur tooth.
Yeah. If it's kind of brown and triangle shaped, not shaped like a pentagon.
Yeah, and it's small.
Yeah. So that's enough for fossil talk, I think.
No, it's not.
They're so dumb. You know, the worst part is that dinosaurs aren't really in the setting right now. Wait, no, we're not doing that. They're not in the setting because it's all cold in this part of the world. So, a lot of reptiles aren't really present. So, next question. Feel free to veto this one, but a day job or hobby that keeps you going. And Miranda.
I have a lot of hobbies, and I sort of flit through them daily, but I guess the main ones are video games, drawing or writing, and reading. Those are all big ones.
Okay, we are definitely going to circle back to that at some point. But, same question for Lane. A day job or a hobby that keeps you going?
Mostly, again, I flick between a fair few, but I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV during, quarantine and lockdown. I'm also, half working on a game myself, but that's going a lot slower now because, the world's kind of in a shit stack at the moment. So,
Yeah.
but it's like a visual novel that's slowly coming along. I'm getting the writing done, but
Cool.
everything else is up in the air.
Nice. Next up, Anna. Same question.
So I do try to balance a day job with my illustrating work, and sometimes it doesn't sustain me, but then I find little projects to do. So recently participated in a game jam with a certain other person here.
Very nice.
So Potato and I worked on a game with a couple other friends, and that was a lot of fun doing the art and assets, and Potato doing all of the programming. So
Programming, it's RPG Maker. But
don't sell yourself short.
Still.
But I do try to do illustration as a side job, which makes my life very hard. Because then I work all day, and then I come home and I work some more. But I do like drawing, so it's not too bad, I guess.
I love your art.
Thanks, I love your art.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Okay, next is Izzy. I'm just going to shorten it to hobby that keeps you going.
Okay, yeah. I'm pretty much in the same boat of hobbies that I cycle to keep things fresh, I guess. Just drawing, writing. I write original work, and for my RP groups and video game stuff, and any animal I can get my hands on to hang out with.
Yeah.
So it sounds like I'm the only non-artist in this group.
It's okay.
We accept you for who you are.
Okay, hobby that keeps me going. I want to say cooking, but sometimes that's out of necessity because I'm a person. Playing other RPGs. I have hobbies. God, sing in the shower. Goddamn. I'm writing that down as my hobby. Because, what y'all didn't hear this morning was, me going over the soundtrack to, the 2019 revival of Oklahoma in the shower and beyond and around while cleaning. So that was just
very
an
niche.
excellent fun time. Look, musicals are excellent and somewhat unappreciated. So yes, it's a really good version. I highly suggest it, especially if you say, "Oh, Oklahoma, you mean that? That sexist bullshit?" It's like, yes, but we updated it, and now it's slightly less that. Anyway, last question. Top 3 most influential non-RPG media. Books, TV shows, plays, books. On there twice. Movies, Tumblr threads, memes, all of the above.
All of the above.
All of the above. Top 3. Not specific type of media. Piece within that media.
Oh, piece within that media?
Oh, I should add art in general, like fine art.
Game of Thrones. Or A
Okay.
Song of Ice and Fire, not the TV show. Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Song of Ice and Fire, the longest title for the series ever.
I know, I do that too.
George R. Martin. And Ancillary Justice by Anne Leckie. And this is hard.
Yeah, this is one to throw us. You can't just throw us a question like that.
I can. Because we can just go back around to that. Okay, so let's do next person, and then we'll circle back.
Okay.
Oh, should we just do one and then go in a circle saying one, and then the second one in another round? Let's do that. So we got
that gives people more time to think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, A Song of Ice and Fire.
Okay, Lane.
My number one is a very small RPG Maker game by a guy called The Catamites called Space Funeral.
Okay, next, Anna.
Diablo, the first one.
Ooh. Izzy?
Final Fantasy, and if I have to pick one, it's 12.
See, as someone who doesn't really play video games, but is on the periphery enough to know that you shouldn't ask someone what their favorite is, I would not have asked you.
Any media. This is torture!
Should I have just said books? Would that have been easier?
No, I'm illiterate.
Oh. Okay, so me, top 3 most influential non-RPG media. I really like the look of Frank Lloyd Wright interiors, and I think that kind of philosophy of architecture and interior design should be put into more RPGs.
Ancillary Justice by Anne Leckie.
Number 2. Probably a book called The Gun Seller by Hugh Laurie. Yes, that Hugh Laurie, the one that plays like House and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
He wrote a book called The Gun Seller, and it's really fucking good.
War of the Spider Queen book series.
Oh, a whole series.
A whole series. Because it has evil drow lesbians.
What?
Hello? I'm interested.
Sorry, can we just get the title and the name of the author so that everyone can write it down?
Oh god, I don't remember. It's multiple different authors. And I don't have it right now on my bookcase.
Okay, we'll have to make a note of that for later, because I believe there are some people here who have a new book that they need to read right now this minute.
There are 6 in the series. Authors, R.A. Salvatore, Thomas Reed, Richard Lee Byers, who's an excellent author, Paul Kemp, Lisa Smedman, also an excellent author, Philip Athens, oh yeah, we talked to that guy on a podcast, Richard Baker. So they're all written by different people.
That's awesome.
And the art is also gorgeous because it's by Braun.
Cool. Izzy, yeah.
Okay, alright, I'll go with it. There's an anime and light novel series called Bacano, and it's about, it jumps around. Oh, you know? Oh, hell yes. Thank God.
I've been on Tumblr before.
Look, it's incredible. How do I describe it then? Most of it takes place in, 1930s Prohibition era New York, and some other, because there's a transcontinental railroad. There's a lot going on, but that's what's so cool, is that there's a ton of different plots and characters, and everything kind of comes together and works with each other in chaos, but also stuff that ties, and it's incredible. I love them.
Okay. My second is going to be the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb, starting with Assassin's Apprentice. Robin Hobb consistently makes my heart beat really fast and then absolutely stabs it by hurting characters. But that's excellent and I love it, and I love all her books. It's just sometimes it's hard to read because I tried reading one of her books and it ended up being a little bit similar to what we're going through today. So that was a little bit of a... I understand that this might not be the right time for me to read this book, but I'll remember it for later.
So we're going with 3. This is the last round.
We're going with 3, last round. We can keep going though, but I think I might have a rebellion on my hands if I ask for more.
Mutiny?
Yes.
Break in the interim.
Mm-hmm.
But I could go with something that I like that I've been playing recently is Hypnospace Outlaw.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's cool. It's like you're a moderator on an alternate 90s internet that is accessed through dreams. And it's weird and good.
Okay.
So I was like, the struggle is going to be what the third most influential thing to me was, and I was bouncing between something I find really good and something I'm so spiteful about being shit that I want to make something better than it.
I understand that though.
I'm going to go with, it's a manga series called Sky High. It's something that will never ever get an anime because it's actually too thinky for. No, I'm changing my answer. Even
You're
as I'm talking
changing your
about
answer because you don't want it to be related to the Disney movie about superheroes in high school.
We don't talk about that. Same track. It's a manga called Junk: Record of the Last Hero, and the only way I can describe it without doing it a disservice is if you know how superheroes have or they have their powers, but their suit is kind of like their brand and what identifies them?
Yes.
This is kind of what if the superpower was tied to the suit and you gave those suits to whoever and they were allowed to do anything they wanted with them? It's what Amazon's The Boys is trying to be, but 6 times better.
I like that concept though because it turns it from you're born a certain way into there's a whole different philosophy about what superpowers are and what people are who have them, right?
And the great thing about it is they are just giving it to just normal people who are following their own guidelines and what they want to do with them. So one guy kind of just uses it to screw around and go on superpowered ego trips. And then one person is this massive fan of a pop singer. So she just uses it to follow her from a mile away and just be her bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a Batman, but for this one specific pop singer. Oh, it's so good. It's such psychological. I love it. I'll stop. I could go on for so long.
It's fine. Good thing there aren't any anime nerds on this podcast.
Yeah, no anime nerds allowed.
No anime nerds. We read manga and we get to the original source material.
Also, Junk is another one of those things that will never ever get an anime because it's one of the darkest bits of fiction I've ever read.
Okay, Anna.
So I was contemplating what my third one would be, and then listening to Lane reminded me of a conversation I recently had about what media has turned me into such a fucked up individual. And I was going to say, I really love Dragon Age game series, but deeper than that, when I read manga as a young person, the manga that I read was X 1999 and MPD Psycho. One is about the end of the world and people get their limbs torn off all the time. The other one is about a cop with multiple personality disorder. solving horrific crimes. So I think they're very telling to what I'm into now. Not in real life, but
in terms of media.
In terms of
narratively,
media.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Izzy?
Okay, I think something that's close to the types of things I want to create is Steven Universe. Because it does the balance of, like, drama and personal issues and, like, taking on things, but in a way where fantasy allows stuff to be, like, peaceful, which is really nice. Like, you can be kind, and that's a strength. I like that sort of stuff. And obviously all of the representation is really awesome. And, yeah.
I like the kindness as strength thing. I just think that's very neat when people use it not only as like a foil to the idea of strength is only power, right? Like the idea that power and strength need to be tied to this aggressiveness. I think Steven Universe actually makes it more of their own, which I like. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
So I have my third piece of media that influences me. And I thought about this because I really like movies, and there are a ton of movies I absolutely love. But I was trying to figure out which one influenced me the most. Then I realized that the background on my computer is the poster for Amadeus. And that movie and play, especially, they really resound with me in a lot of ways. I think that's movie. Just excellent. Yeah, I like it. I love Mozart's goofy laugh. I love the way Salieri is just inside his own head and so much. That's really wonderful to me. That's really that is a great character dive, I think. We've reached the end of this very difficult last question.
Can I just make a blanket statement for...
Yes, you may.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Avatar: The Last Airbender
is good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
yes.
I was considering that for
we
3,
can
but I was
agree
like,
on that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a collective. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. High fives all around.
Yay.
Okay. Any other parts of the Q&A you would all like to do before we move on?
I totally was gonna... Actually, the answer I was gonna give for my third one was Magic the Gathering.
MTG. Sorry, There's
so many. I just love the art.
I actually read one of the novels once, believe it or not.
I also read one of the novels once. A long time
a novel
ago.
Related to an IP in a different media format. Imagine. Okay. I have a bit of a speech. And...
Speech.
Yes, yeah. And then that should be it. I think that will finish our session 0, our meet and greet with everyone. Before we get into the fiction, I have a brief speech about what kind of podcast we're going to do. There are some topics we aren't going to cover. I know I consider listening to shows to be a form of escapism, and for that reason, there are some real-world and serious topics that we will not be exploring in this fiction. For example, we're not going to be looking at police aggression. There's not going to be violence related to gender, race, or sexual orientation or gender presentation. Also, no explicit sexual content. We will be flirting. Very likely there will be lots of flirting, but no explicit finality to the flirting. Anyway, this is awkward already. There will be no harming of very cute animals or children. There will be no mysterious diseases or elections hovering above us like some sword of Damocles. And due to the specifics of the setting, there are no undead. There are likely going to be places and times when we might skirt close to the line on some of these subjects. And for that reason, I'm going to work with our wonderful, excellent, perfect editor to add content warnings in the info for the episodes. That said, this is an explicit podcast, and we're not for children. It's an explicit podcast that children should not be listening to. At minimum, there's going to be cursing. There are potentially, if the players are lucky, some lewd situations. And possibly some mind-altering substances and murder and mayhem and, some really bad puns. So that is my speech about what kind of thing we're doing for this podcast as a group, what we've agreed upon, and what you can expect as an audience. Okay, I think that's the end of our session 0.
City in Snow is part of Novi Studios and takes place in the setting of Lanimora ages before the events of the Legends of Lanimora podcast. To find more City in Snow content, share your thoughts or predictions on Twitter at City in Snow, one word. Thanks again to my wonderful players. How can people find you all?
I'm Anna, and you can find my work on Twitter at unrulycryptid or annahannon.com.
I'm Lane, and you can find whatever it is that I do, including my incredibly strange brand of posting at Line the Order on Twitter.
I'm Izzy, and you can find me and my art and writings at Squishy Night on Twitter.
I'm Miranda, and you can find me at Brotato Farm on Itch, Twitter, and other places.
And I'm Lizzie, and you can find me at LIZY_BR on Twitter. To check out more shows and streams from Novi Studios, check out novistudio.io. That's NOVI studio.io. That's everything. Thank you.